Everyone, happy Sunday. Today I'm here with my identical twin sister, Dr. Mina Blasey, and we came up with the title,
Noise to
How to Use,
navigation.
or no, How to Use ChatGPT
Right.
is the title, is the title. But we'll kind of talk to you a little bit about our new book, Noise to Navigation, how we move from confusion to confidence with generative AI. And you know what, Mina, let's start with that. Um, Tell everybody what generative AI is because you come from that space. You come from the space. You come from the tech space because you are a science teacher. Where I come from the tech space when it comes to educating real estate professionals on how to click, basically.
And when you say how, you mean how do you
I just said,
like
what is
go into?
generative AI? No,
Oh,
what?
okay. What? Because okay, I'm glad you said that again because I didn't hear it, but now I hear it. So generative AI. Most of us know how to use technology. We use our cell phones. That's technology. We tend to forget because it has become an appendage. Like you just use it like it's normal use. Use it every day. You're scrolling through it. That's a piece of technology. Generative AI is, well, your phone is artificial intelligence too, but generative AI like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Copilot, Cloud, um, Gemini, that means to generate something new and with you. It is allowing the system, whatever product you're using, to ask it something, a question, give it a task, giving it some context, and it creates something for you. Now, that's the easiest way to think about it. You wanted to do so. It's like having someone in the room and saying, "Hey, I need to create I need um, a recipe for some ingredients. This is all I have at home. This is the food. And you don't want to think, you can go to Google and do it, but usually it gives you the recipe that they're going to give you and you have to go out and buy stuff. But if you go to generative AI, it'll do it based on the ingredients you have. And it just tells you quickly. It generates something new. It takes all this information from all over the place, not just the internet, because it takes it from systems that are already in place. It's like having a huge encyclopedia from everywhere and putting it in one place. That's the easiest way to think about it.
Okay. So, because in my head, I feel like everything's just Google, but you just told everybody and proved to everybody it's not just Google. So, for those of you that are just joining, my twin sister and I decided to go live impromptu. Why? Because she and I are going to be speaking at the NAR conference this November on your AI brainstorm buddy. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. It's popping up. There it is in Houston, Texas, November 14th at 11:30 a.m. So that's a Friday. So first of all, we want to encourage you, if you are a real estate professional and you are going to be in Houston at the NAR conference, please come see us in person. We
Right.
have a TED Talk. So even for us, it's a little bit different. We're instructors and we could keep on talking. So we have a power session. You should come see us because you'll be in and out real quick. And we might have a few of these copies with us. Noise to Navigation is now available. It's available on Amazon, but it will also be available to all of you in the NAR bookstore. But if you scan that QR code in the top left hand corner, if you're watching, or if you just take a screenshot, you can upload it to ChatGPT and you can grab your copy of Noise to Navigation. So, our topic today is what is ChatGPT? But we figured we would kind of look in our book to kind of have a conversation with you around ChatGPT from the book's perspective, how we move from confusion to confidence with generative AI. And what I like about what Mina put in the book is prompting and how to create a really good prompt. Here I am skipping around, and you put in like a formula for prompting somewhere. Where is
Chapter
it?
two.
Chapter
It's in
2
chapter two.
on
And
page.
on page like four, let me, no, actually, no, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. On page 15, it's perfectly at the bottom. And then if you go to page 18, it gives you a table with variations on how to use the formula. And then it describes what it is and like what each part of the formula is. So, and
So
I can, let me just read this. It says, because I didn't just make this formula up, by the way. I went to to OpenAI's platform, literally platform.openai.com for a fun read. Go ahead, check it out. It'll give you prompt engineering, and it looks like engineering, like nobody talks like this. So I went through, read through it, and here was the main pieces of like a full formula. The OpenAI Prompt Engineering Guide, which I looked this up in 2024, presents a flexible structure for effective prompting: persona, context, task, exemplar, format, tone, and upload. Like you can put the plus symbol in between. But the truth is you won't use all of those at once most of the time. Just like we don't always use addition all the time. Sometimes we use subtraction, sometimes we use addition and subtraction. Like think of it like a formula. But in real simple terms, everybody knows some type of language, meaning I know English. Carrie knows English and Spanish. Some people know more than that. Every
Mi
sentence has
español es muy limitado, pero yo
but well,
estudiando.
a
Yo
sentence
estoy
structure.
estudiando. Go ahead.
A sentence structure has parts of it. It's got words, it's got letters. Without those letters together to make up a word, you have no structure. So without a structure of prompting, you can kind of just be out there in ChatGPT or whatever platform you're using, and it's just everything is all over the place. So what I did and what Carrie and I started to do was realize that we were just asking ChatGPT questions, like or saying, "Do this for me," and it was too much. And the prompt engineering guide wasn't out right away, by the way. So then I'm looking
What do
at
you
it
mean by right
literally,
away? It wasn't long out
like in
November
2022.
2022.
Right. Like it took a couple of years. Well, and when it finally came out, it was like it's still jargon. It's like way too much to look at. But most people will give ChatGPT a task. And because I'm in education, we like to, as teachers, say, create a lesson plan for me. That's too simple. Like you have to give it some context, like what grade is it? Science? Is it English? Whatever it is, and then you say this specific learning. This is the skill they're learning. Because if you don't, it gives you so much information. So in the book, I teach you how to look at the formula and give you like parts of the formula, like give it a task and a persona. I'm a fifth grade teacher. I'm a real estate agent. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a CEO. I'm a superintendent. And then you give it a task. I want to do this, this, and this. Like putting all those things together. That's how it's just it seems like when you hear the words prompt engineering is too much. Like it feels like nope, I don't want to learn how to prompt engineer. You're not. You are putting a sentence together and asking ChatGPT to do something for you. That's it.
So as I fix my typo, ChatGPT reads typo, but Restream does not read carry typo, so I fixed that. So again, thank you for joining us. This was, we used to go live, all the time on Sundays, but life kicks in. We decide we need to work out, we need to go to church. But today, because we are practicing for the NAR conference, Mina and I just got through going over our TED Talk, Your AI Brainstorm Buddy, because we will be in Texas on November 14th, 11:30 a.m. That is a Friday. So clearly I will probably not be live Friday morning. Maybe. We'll figure it. Maybe not. So we decided to come and talk to you a little bit about our new book on Amazon, also now going to be available in the NAR bookstore. I just shipped several copies to the NAR bookstore, so you should be able to go on the NAR bookstore and purchase. And I'm going to do this, and then we'll come back and talk to you. For those of you that have questions, we would love to have you see your questions. You can chat them; they pop up right here. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the book to kind of tell you. Mina gives you a good write up at the beginning of the book on how the book works and how it functions. But here are the chapters, and we wrote the book just so y'all know. We did our own research. We researched outside of ChatGPT. We asked ChatGPT to help us with the sources a little bit too. So we just want you to know we wrote the book. Chapter 1 is finding power in the push and pause, which Mina means. Mina can't hear me. So I'm gonna talk because she can't hear me. So finding power in the push and pause in her chapter one, being able to leverage ChatGPT or any AI, right, Mina? But
Right. I can
can
hear
you hear
you.
me now?
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, but so tell it. So I'm just gonna say them all to you because finding the power in the push and pause, you're like, well, what does that mean? So tell people what that means.
Okay. Actually, typically when you first learn something new, there are people who are what I call the innovators and the early adopters. They're like, when the iPad came out, people were running to the store and they grabbed the iPad. Whether it was going to work well for you or not, they were the ones that were the people that were going to tell Apple whether it was a good idea or not. They were the innovators. Then you had people right after that were like, "Oh, it's the second iPad. I'm good. Like it's working and I'm going to get it." So they're the people who really pushed and ran to it and did it quickly. Then you had people that I would say the late adopters. They're like, I'm going to slow down a little bit. I'm going to see if this is really something, not just that I need, but I don't want to spend, because it was more expensive when it first came out. It's kind of like the first time we had a flat screen TV. Like they ran to get it. It didn't matter if it was $5,000. Now you can go get a flat screen TV for $500 and the pixels are pretty good. So the idea is like the Goldilocks effect. You have the I'm going real fast, then you have the I'm going real slow, and then you have somewhere in the middle. And I probably should have put that word in the book, the Goldilocks effect, like the just right. Like, how do you know when to use generative AI when it's right for you and your company or for just you? Because the truth is, and in the book, I talk about this target, like in this target, like right in the middle, where should we be with generative AI today? Everybody should know something about it. If you don't, you are way behind. Everyone, businesses, communities, brokerages should be at least stepping their foot into it to understand what it does. But then there are the people who are learning it together, having conversations, a real human think tank, and talking about how will this benefit the company. Because in the first chapter, I talk about Blockbuster and how Blockbuster had a corner on the video market.
So don't
They,
tell them everything, Mina. Don't
but you,
keep telling
but
them
I just,
everything.
I feel like you still need to know this because they got left behind. You too will get left behind. And but the story, the way I say it in the book is so even different. It's profound because somebody else is going to take over if you don't get in front of it. It's like in 1995, 96, when we all got access to the internet, and some people were like, oh, I'm not using the internet. That's cheating. Oh, I'm not using ChatGPT. That's cheating. But is it? If it helps you think better, if it helps give you access to knowledge, it's not going anywhere. But if you don't learn it, your children, by the way, they're not digital natives, they're generative AI natives. Not only are they going to use it, they're going to use it inappropriately. It's kind of like we all felt like we, meaning the general public, were like, oh, we have to get our kids phones. And then you didn't know anything about Instagram and TikTok because you got left behind. And now they're learning stuff that you know good and well they shouldn't be learning. Same with internet. And you need to learn it so that you can help educate the young generation, meaning a new real estate agent. Or if because we're presenting at the National Association of Realtors, you also need to know it because you told me a story, Karen. You probably should talk a little bit about it. That your clients are going to be like, "Well, ChatGPT told me."
Right.
Really?
So it might. And and before I get into all of that, because I have places to go in a few minutes, Mina. So our goal was to come here and be quick in and out. I will tell you that I had an agent come and talk to me and say, "Hey, Carrie, I just want you to know that I had a client say, hey, ChatGPT said that your numbers are wrong." And what was great about her is she was able to say, "What did ChatGPT give you?" And then ask ChatGPT to tell you how old the data is. The consumer realized that the data that ChatGPT had pulled gave a market analysis on an offer that the agent had written. The agent was right because the agent used current data. ChatGPT didn't have access to it, at least not yet. That's up for debate. Although um, there's a very big organization that has now integrated with ChatGPT, and maybe we'll come back and talk about that. But for antitrust purposes, I'm going to hold that thought and not talk about it. So again, we're going to be at the NAR conference on November 14th in Houston, Texas. We're here for a moment to talk about noise to navigation. So that first chapter was finding power in the push and pause. Chapter 2 is why do we keep information a secret? Prompt variations. Number 3 is prompt power from awareness to action. Number 4 is entrepreneurs get out of your own head and get into the real world. Kind of similar to like what Mina was saying about kids. Your kids can make a phone call without asking permission. When we were kids, we had to say, "Hey, mommy, can I use the phone?" So they're doing things faster than us. Number 5 is generative AI, small steps. Number 6 is working smarter with AI on social media. We give you tables, features, some actions. And then chapter 7 is the AI vision and some final thoughts. So I'm going to challenge all of you in the top left-hand corner of this live. You can grab the book. It's only $4.99 today, but after the NAR conference, it'll go back up to the regular price of $9.99. So that means you can get 2 copies. Mina and I are going to have these books at the NAR conference. A few of them, not a lot, but you can get it in the NAR bookstore. So I'm going to say this because I have an appointment today. I would like to challenge all of you to please take a second and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channels if you haven't already. If you're here, thank you. If you are on Facebook, please take a screenshot, subscribe to Mina's YouTube channel, and I'm just going to give you an ask. Share it with a friend or friends because both of us are trying to get to so many watch hours and to a minimum 4,000 subscribers. Mina is a lot closer, so subscribe to her channel. And then also subscribe to mine. Help us educate you where we try to go live consistently over on YouTube. We also have a podcast. So again, what is that thing, ChatGPT? Our challenge for all of you today is to get in here and play with it. Do you have any takeaways for our impromptu live, Mina?
The only takeaway is that buy the book. You can go to Amazon, or if you're at the NAR conference, again, you can get in the bookstore, and you don't have to read the book from cover to cover. Those of you that, please stop saying to yourself, I'm not a reader. Everybody is a reader. It helps build brain cells. We'll just say that. And you can read the chapter that you need. You don't need to read it cover to cover. You can, but read the chapter that you need.
So again, thank you for joining us. If there's something you want to learn, type it in the feed. Even after the replay, you can email either one of first of all, you can comment in the feed, and you can direct message us on Instagram or TikTok any day. You could probably Google us and find us. So thank you for watching. I'm Carrie Little, the designated managing broker of Caremark Realty Group in Illinois, Florida, and Mexico. And I'm here with my identical twin sister,
Dr. Mina Blasey, and I am in educational leadership. I do work at a school district in Southern California, and I also help support my twin sister in speaking around the country.
See you later.